So trading plan. Okay, when we talk about goal setting, this is something that's very, very important when we're trading, to have some sort of physical outcome or something we want to achieve from that trading session. Now again, because it's trading, we always look at it in money. But that again is very one-dimensional. If you only ever look at trading in money, it becomes a little bit soulless, and you can lose your focus, and it can mean less when you make money. No, it sounds hard to believe, but again, it's just something I've experienced myself over the years. That it's more about being right. That's the power of trading, is getting it right when other people get it wrong. That's the buzz of trading. That's why we get so excited. The money is almost like a byproduct. Yeah. So it's generally the way it was explained to me as a very young trader by some very, very successful traders, is that trading's a game and money's just a way of keeping score. So if we look at it that way, then we all like to take trading seriously, and we should do. But we have to remember, we're in the markets, we're trading against other people, and what we're trying to do is make a right trade, and that needs to be our goal. So it's easy to say what should be included in the trading plan and so on and so on. But it's all down to how much you're willing to put into it effort-wise and develop it. So your goals are another way of adding to your trading plan and make sure you're in the right frame of mind, that you've actually thought about what you're trying to get out of this trading session, what you're trying to achieve out of the markets. So we have our outcome goals, which inevitably, as we always say, will be to make profits, be it, daily, weekly or yearly. Set yourself a realistic target. Some people like to say, okay, well, today I want to make X amount of money. But maybe, some other people are looking a little bit longer term. Say, okay, well, I'll take each day as it comes, but on the week, I'd like to make 10% of my overall capital. Yeah, maybe people extend that, go monthly, go yearly. Again, it doesn't matter. Again, you're the trader. You should understand what you're trying to achieve, and you should be aware of what you want to achieve. So as long as you've got some sort of outcome goal where you want to be, then we know we can start to work on how we're going to get there. So process goals. So without a process to make you profitable, you're never going to really reach your outcome goals. So we need to put process goals in place, like little milestones, in order to get there, to get to our overall final destination. So again, it's just like anything that we do in life. Anything, we want to be a golfer. We don't just buy a set of clubs and say, okay, by the end of the year, I'm going to be Tiger Woods. We have to be realistic. Yeah, by the end of the year, I want to play off a 10 handicap. Process goals for the next month or next 3 months. Every week, I'm going to see a pro. I'm going to learn how to drive, how to chip, how to putt. I'm going to practice, every other weekend. Yeah, so by the end of that year, our outcome goal will be that we should be playing off a 10 handicap. So it's just like anything that we would do in life. Without knowing where we want to go, yeah, then how are we going to get there? And if we don't have these little steps in place, you're always trying to fight against yourself and trying to take too much on. It's all about breaking things up into manageable chunks. Okay, so you can't read a full novel in a day, but you can read a chapter a day and finish it over a couple of weeks. For instance, it's all these different analogies I'm trying to put across to you, that you need to set your goals in accordance to what you want to achieve and where you want to be. So if you want to be a trader that makes £10,000 a month, then you need to know how much you need to make a day. You need to break it down into that. Then how are you going to approach that day? How are you going to make sure you hold your gains, your profits, without giving them back to the market? When you do have a bad day, how do you react to that? How does that fit into the overall scheme? Yeah? So these are things you need to think about when you're setting your overall outcome goals, then setting your smaller process goals. And you can put these into your trading plan, and you can look at them, and they're physically there in front of you. So you're constantly reminded why you sat in front of your screen in the first place. And then, obviously, if you put in your process goals, how are you going to achieve it? So goal assessment. So this is not just the monetary value of what you want to make. Every trader's goal, as we keep mentioning, is to make profit. You need to break your goals then into two areas. So I'd say your overall goals, as we talked about, your daily, weekly, monthly, and your individual trading goals. Right? So what is the risk-reward ratio in each trade you're entering? What's your exit strategy? What's the optimal return on this trade? Yeah. So how far are you wishing to see it go inside, and what's the point for it to go against you? Are you gonna cut out that trade? Are you gonna realise the loss and stop trading? So again, if you don't write these things down and you don't write these goals down, how do you know if you're going to achieve them or not? So again, it would only just be by looking at your P&L. Yeah. If you don't look at your daily trades and how you went about your trading process for that day, then it's very easy to get lost. And then by the end of it, if you're looking for a monthly target of X amount of money, you're not really going to know when you're on track. If you don't look every day, as we've said with your process goals, how do you know how you've got there? Yeah, did you make all that money in one day of one big comment, or just one big trade, or did you systematically make money every single day because you've broken down your monthly target into daily targets in order to achieve that? Yeah. So again, it's just different ways of thinking about it, different ways of making this trading game, this trading career more tangible and giving you more of a structure to it. So you can ask yourself the following. What type of trader are you? Yeah, these are things we need to ask ourselves, because people like to put themselves in a certain bracket and like to say, yes, well, I'm a scalper or a momentum trader. So ask yourself, what is your style? Are you swing, momentum, scalper? Do you trade fundamental, or you're a mixture of some or all of these types? Okay? It's worth noting, you don't want to limit yourself, but remember, you can't trade everything. So as in you can't trade every product, you can't be every style of trader. So again, it's very important that we write this down into our trading plan, because maybe we get caught up in the noise again. So we're trying to scalp, make very small profits and trade often. Yeah, but maybe that isn't working. Maybe we could just do one trade or two trades in that session, and we make more money by letting the trade go in the direction we think the market's going to go, and putting our stop out a little bit. So we're giving ourselves more room to breathe. So we're not instantly right and taking profit. We're letting the position build up slowly and then allow it to go further on side in order to take bigger profits. So number 2, how much risk will you take in each trade? Okay, so this is something else that refers directly back to your trading plan. Will you trade 1% of your account in each trade? Okay, so very, very important to know. If you're a longer term trader, you will obviously trade less often. So you might want to trade 2, 3, 4, 5, 10% of your capital on each trade, because you're not trading every day, you're trading once a week. So again, it's all what fits in with your style of trading, all what fits in with your attitude to risk. And these are things, you need to have written down and physically put them in front of you. Because again, if you don't have this information to hand, how will you review it? And how will you set these goals and be able to achieve them? And then number 3, what's your risk-reward ratio? What are you going to employ on these trades? So again, this is a question I get asked very, very often. What's the correct risk-reward ratio on any trade? It all depends. It has to be a minimum of, 2 to 1. So you're looking to profit by 2 times more than the amount you're willing to risk. But that can change up to 3 to 1, 5 to 1. It really just depends on what style of trader you are. If you're a scalper, then your risk reward has to be very, very small, because every time you're wrong, you cut out for a loss immediately, and every time you're right, as Solman's saying, you take your profit straight away. So you need to make sure that you know your overall style of trading, so you can put all these things into place, and they're the right strategy for you. There's no point putting a very, very small stop if you're expected to make 100 ticks out of a trade, because more likely than not, you're not going to pick the perfect entry point and end up getting out of that trade for a loss, because you're not giving the market, so you're not giving the charts enough time to create the pattern of the trend you're looking to trade on.